The day Rome abandoned Britain. Rome didn't fall in Britain. It didn't lose a final battle. It didn't surrender to an invading army. One day Rome simply left. The legions vanished, the money stopped, the roads cracked and went unrepaired, and an entire province, once part of the greatest empire the world had ever known, was left to survive on its own. This is the story of the moment Rome abandoned Britain and how a world collapsed almost overnight. Rome at the edge of the world. For nearly 400 years, Britain sat at the very edge of the Roman world. It was cold, wet, distant, but Rome came anyway. Stone cities replaced tribal settlements, straight Roman roads cut through forests and hills, bathhouses steamed in towns where no one had ever seen running water before. Along the northern frontier, Roman soldiers stood watch on Hadrian's Wall, guarding what they believed was the edge of civilization itself. To the people living there, Rome felt permanent. Empires were supposed to last forever. That belief would not survive the 5th century. The empire begins to fracture. By the late 4th century, Rome was no longer unstoppable. The empire was fighting on too many fronts. Barbarian armies pressed against the Rhine and the Danube. Civil wars drained manpower and money. Emperors rose and fell with alarming speed. Rome faced a harsh reality. There were too many enemies, and not enough soldiers. Every province could not be saved. And when difficult choices had to be made, Britain, distant, expensive, and hard to defend, was never the priority. The moment Rome let go. Around the year 410, the unthinkable happened. Roman troops in Britain were withdrawn. Some were recalled to defend Italy itself. Others were left unpaid and simply drifted away, their loyalty ending when the empire stopped paying them. Then came the final message from Rome. Short, cold, devastating. Britain would receive no more help. No reinforcements, no funding, no protection. Rome didn't announce its departure with ceremony or drama. It just stopped answering. When a system disappears, Rome wasn't just an army, Rome was a system. Taxes paid soldiers, soldiers protected roads, roads moved food and goods, cities depended on all of it. When Rome left, that system unraveled with terrifying speed. Coins vanished from circulation. Long-distance trade collapsed. Public buildings fell into ruin. In some towns, literacy disappeared within a single generation. People who had lived their entire lives as Romans woke up in a world where Rome no longer existed. A silent collapse. Without the legions, Britain became vulnerable. Raids increased along the coasts. Local strongmen seized power. Former Roman towns shrank, or were abandoned entirely. Villas became quarries for stone. Bathhouses became shelters. Roman law survived only as memory. This wasn't an explosion. It wasn't an apocalypse. It was worse. It was a slow unmaking. Later historians would call this period the Dark Ages. Not because life stopped, but because the light Rome brought slowly went out. Why Rome really abandoned Britain? Rome didn't abandon Britain because it wanted to. It abandoned Britain because it had to. The empire was fighting for survival closer to its heartlands. Italy mattered more than distant provinces. Hard choices were unavoidable. Empires don't collapse everywhere at once. They retreat, they prioritize, they let go. Britain was one of the first places Rome decided it could no longer afford to save. Out of the ruins, a new world. Rome's departure created a vacuum, and vacuums never last. Local leaders stepped in where governors once ruled. New cultures blended Roman traditions with older customs. Small kingdoms slowly emerged from the ruins. From the collapse of Roman Britain would eventually rise medieval England. Rome didn't die in Britain. Britain outlived Rome. When empires walk away. The fall of Roman Britain teaches us something unsettling. Empires don't always end in fire and conquest. Sometimes they end in silence. A fort left unmanned, a road left unrepaired, a letter from the capital that never arrives. Rome didn't fall in Britain, it walked away. And once it did, nothing was ever the same again. If you want more stories about the moments empires let go, subscribe. Because history isn't just about how civilizations rise, it's about what happens when they leave.